Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Nourel, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the TOEFL online course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. You completed an independent, I think, speaking practice test at my website, and I think it was number 12. And these are actual topics that appeared on the official TOEFL IBT exam, according to some of my students who took the test. It says, do you think children should be given cell phones? So it's kind of an argumentative, a personal preference type response. So let's see how you responded to this particular question.
I think children should be given a cell phone. My main reason for this is what if there is an emergency and they need to call 911?
Now you're having a little bit of trouble with your pronunciation. Emergency. And even before that, the word children should be given cell phones. So some of those multisyllabic words you're pronouncing, I'm having a little bit of trouble understanding them.
Or just call someone for help. Their sense is what if there is an emergency and they need to call 911 or just call someone for help.
Okay, so now once you make the idea of emergency, then you can probably give an example of some type of an emergency. Maybe they see a fire in the school, or there's someone who's being beaten up at school and they have to contact the police to help that person, or they're being harassed or beaten up by somebody. They can use the phone to contact an authority.
Their cell phones can be a lifesaver. Another reason.
Okay, so I think you can probably develop that idea more. Now, if you say, well, Michael, I'm having trouble giving enough details because I had two ideas or two reasons in there, then your strategy is to focus on just one idea and then make sure you explain that idea with some examples. So be careful. Make sure when you bring up a point, you give a good detail to help illustrate that idea. That makes your argument more convincing.
This is that cell phone can be a backup for certain technology.
This is a good vocabulary. I like that, backup. That can be a backup for certain technology.
For example, I was about to take a math test when I realized that I forgot my calculator at home. Fortunately for me, my cell phone has a calculator application downloaded into it, and I was able to take the test.
That was a good example. That example, the math test you were taking, and using the cell phone as a backup for your calculator, that was a good example to illustrate that point. So your second point was better illustrated than your first point.
Therefore, the children should be given a cell phone.
All right, I like your use of the word therefore. That's effective. It connects what's called a cause-effect type relationship. So it makes it easy for me to understand the relationship of the different ideas in your speech. And you did directly answer the question, so let's go to the IBT rubrics right now. I think you have some problems with delivery. I think the first reason you brought up, you could better support that with a more specific example. So I think you could make some improvements with the speech. I'm going to put you 2.66 out of 4, maybe 20 points out of 30 on this. Now, of course, this is just one practice test, and I'm just trying to give you a basic idea of where you might score based on this one test. But anyway, thank you for completing the practice test. And for pronunciation, something that you might want to do as you're going through my pronunciation videos, maybe go to the one that talks about syllable division and grammatical word endings. I think that's in the pronunciation section of my course, and go through the lessons there. And what you want to do, focus on more clearly pronouncing those words that have multiple syllables. And one of the problems is, if you have a multisyllabic word, Nourel, you do have what's called a stressed syllable. And that stressed syllable needs to be clearer, longer, louder, and higher pitched. So I think you could make some improvements with your syllable division and also your word stress, and that will help your delivery more. So you can study syllable division and word stress in the pronunciation area of my course. All right, anyway, thank you very much for completing the practice test, and keep up the good work.